Yeah, it's like you kind of get Trump in there, and he is a boss. You know what I'm saying? The dude is like like you almost want to say merciless. I don't know if that's the word.
Yeah.
I mean, he's him. I mean, he's exactly. I don't even fucking know how to describe him, dude. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like I don't even know how to describe things.
Well, he's
like,
a different kind of person, man, than almost anybody else, for good and for bad.
One of the things you just said though was just about the Venezuela thing. There was another article, a guy was talking about a paper tiger, and it was kind of a challenge to the BRICS countries, like to that outside group. And first I want to get, what is a paper tiger? Hold on. Ask Perplexity, what is a paper tiger?
Well, something that appears to be ferocious, but is really just, you know, like made of paper. Like the idea is that like, oh yeah, you present yourself as strong and powerful, but you're really weak.
It's like a bluff.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, in foreign policy, a paper tiger is a state, alliance, or threat that looks militarily or politically powerful from the outside, but is actually weak, limited, or unwilling to act when challenged.
I always love that, by the way, which is like, if they're a paper tiger, then why the hell we got to fight wars against them then? You know, like essentially, because this is what they always said about Russia. They'd say in one breath, John McCain would say, Russia is just a gas station with nukes.
Mm-hmm.
So they would go, all they are is this, you know, they got some gas and they got some nukes, but they got no economy and they got this tiny GDP. And then in the next breath, all the hawks go, if we don't fund Ukraine, they're going to take over Poland and reconstitute the Soviet Union. You're like, well, I thought they were weak.
Yeah.
So like, which one is it? Are they taking over all of Europe or are they not? Because if they're weak, then maybe we don't really need to worry about them.
Yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on, you know? I mean, it's constant. This guy had just an interesting take, I thought, just about this stuff, then we can get it out of our systems.
The Venezuelan issue is both a crucial test of paper tiger quality on the part of all the great powers now, China, Russia, and the United States. China knows very well that the fentanyl excuse to stop the alleged fentanyl trade into the United States is used by Trump to mobilize for war against Venezuela, where China is the largest of them. International investors. If China and Russia let the US make a regime change, just kill President Maduro and destroy the Venezuelan government and replace it with Mrs. Machado or something else, what's the credibility of the two of the three powers in BRICS to assist anyone, even themselves? That's the paper tiger aspect. If it's the case that neither China nor Russia can deter, nor BRICS, Brazil, India, and the others, Iran, can deter the United States from invading Venezuela and destroying its sovereign government. If they can't, then BRICS is a paper tiger too.
Just kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
Just interesting, all the little things that could be a part of it, right? Because it does just seem kind of confusing. Like most people could not pick out where Venezuela is on a map, right?
Yeah.
Most of us had never even thought of Maduro or heard of him before, probably within the past month, right? Unless you like, you know, I mean, he's had a very interesting story. He's like coming up as a bus driver and being like a man of the people and everything, but then seemingly getting compromised and like overwhelmed by wealth and power over time. And then like a lot of his influences and stuff were very like socialist influencers and stuff like that. And so, but like also to your point, like imagine, you know, when you're saying so many people couldn't have, you know, picked Venezuela out on a map or something like that. I mean, if you just think, right, so I was here a year ago with you. How drastically different things are just a year ago. I mean, like a year ago, Donald Trump had his highest approval ratings that he's ever had. He was the greatest political comeback story in American history. Just something that was totally like, it was amazing the way he not only came back from like, say, where he was right after January 6th, when the question was whether he was going to go to jail and going through all the trials and getting shot, and then to not only come back and win the popular vote and win every swing state, but he won the culture. He won the youth. Yeah.
It would have been like, it would have seemed impossible just a few years earlier.
Black kids were calling him daddy.
Literally, black kids. John Jones is doing the Trump dance at Madison Square Garden. I think we were both there that night. And just a crazy thing, right? And now, you know, he's totally like divided his base. There's an infight in the Republic, all this stuff. But anyway, so a year ago, when people were so excited about Donald Trump coming in, you never met one Trump supporter in your life who went, now we're going to get regime change in Venezuela.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited that Donald Trump's here. I mean, people wanted no new wars. They wanted the border secure. They wanted the economy turned around. They wanted inflation dealt with. Nothing. There was there was no demand from Trump's base. And so this is like one more example of Donald Trump just siding with the war hawks over his own people. Yeah. And one of the things that really, I find it like to be so, it's such a like an intolerable humiliation of Donald Trump supporters is that all these guys, the war hawks, Marco Rubio, Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, like go down the list, all of them, Ted Cruz, every last one of them, they were the never Trumpers. Like, I don't know if maybe some people just weren't paying attention to politics as long as I've been. They were the never Trumpers. Anyone but Donald Trump. They ran a front page cover of National Review saying never Trump. Anyone but Donald Trump. All of them. Ben Shapiro said on issues of, because it's a matter of principle, I will never vote for Donald Trump. He said he would hold his nose and allow Hillary Clinton to be elected president before he sent his, at the time, massive audience to support Donald Trump. And now Donald Trump turns around and makes little Marco his national security advisor.
Remember how he embarrassed him in the debates?
Yep. And he called him little Marco. He used to tear him apart. And you know what he used to say? Man, oh, dude, I hope I'm getting this right. There was, I believe there's a tweet, you could probably find it, where Donald Trump said something like, Sheldon Adelson will be able to control little Marco. And that's why you can't let him be president.
And that's the guy, the lady's husband?
Yeah, he died, but Miriam Adelson is still alive. And they're his biggest donors. They've given him like hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. And that's, I don't even think that, like if you counted the money for his first run, his second run, and the midterms, they're probably close to $1 billion that they've given.
Look at this tweet right there. Sheldon Adelson is looking to give big dollars to Rubio because he feels he can mold him into his perfect little puppet. Wow. I agree, he says.
Okay, he agrees with that. Just to be clear, this is just a fact.
This is 2015.
Nobody has been molded into more of a puppet for the Adelsons than Donald Trump. And Donald Trump now, which I know you've probably seen a couple of it's so crazy. And I'm not saying this is the case. I don't think this is the case. But it almost seems like Donald Trump is like mocking them when he'll talk about how much they just care about Israel. Like he goes out of his way
about who just cares about
Miriam Adelson and Sheldon Adelson, that he'll go, they gave me a lot of money and they called me all the time and they always come by and they're always asking for something and it's always for Israel and I do it all. I give it all to it. Like he's just openly telling you that look, Miriam Adelson is a Palestinian, Theo. She was born before the creation of the state of Israel in what is today Israel. Am I right about this? What year? Born in 1945 you could say Israeli American, but there's no such thing as Israel in 1945. Israel wasn't created till 1948. She was born in Palestine.
She was born in Tel Aviv, mandatory Palestine.
Mandatory Palestine, right. So anyway, so she's from there. Now
is this a new term, mandatory Palestine?
It was a term at the time.
It was.
It was a term at the time where they basically they were like, we're not doing imperialism anymore. We're just doing mandates. It's mandates where we come in and run the country, and we'll take some of the resources too. Yeah. But
it's just such an interesting term, mandatory Palestine. Okay, so that's where she was born. Though
and let me just say about him.
So by land, she was Palestinian.
Yes. So now he was born in America, but
who, Sheldon?
Yeah. Sheldon was born in
America.
Black or no? No, he's not black. Actually, Jewish fella. He is on record saying that his biggest regret in life is that he wore the American military uniform and not the IDF uniform.
Really?
So these are like Israel firsters,
right?
Openly, and Donald Trump says as much.
Oh yeah, well Donald Trump is like they just had an announcement the other day, or he was at a event where he said he was Israel's best president. They said, you're Israel's best president.
Mark Levin said he's the first Jewish president.
Yeah. It's wild.
By the way, Mark Levin called me a Nazi.
He did?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Oh, gosh.
On Twitter. No, he called me a neo-Nazi, to be fair.
Oh, that's cool.
That's nice, which is nicer.
Well, new.
Yeah. Like, he wasn't actually claiming that I was a member of Hitler's, National Socialist Workers' Party.
Yeah, that's impossible, first of all, for you to pull off. And second of all, neo-Nazis, I don't think it's not even determined what they're going to do with their whole plan yet.
Yeah, no, we're still working on it.
Yeah, you gotta play that out, man. You gotta play that out.
But it is a funny, essentially my politics are all just like I'm against wars and government. Like, I just want government to have less power and fight less wars.
Yeah.
Which is strikingly similar to Adolf Hitler, as everybody knows. That was what he was known for too.
But that's the
individual rights.
That's the biggest weapon, though. I mean, even Tucker was talking about this. It's the biggest weapon of people like him, I guess, to just call you Hitler or to call you an anti-Semite. It's just like, I don't know. And it's a weapon that's kind of out of bullets a lot of times. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We talked about that before, about how it's just been used so much. What is this part right here?
And these people do like Israel. Hold on. And he loves Israel too. It's true. 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. 6 years ago, I was up here, and I said, "This is our first Jewish president." It's true. Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
Like there's another one?
No, well, he's saying like that he lost and then came back in, that he served 2 terms. But like you could have just said served 2 terms. Like what was the, and also he is like, which is very weird to see done to Trump, but a lot of people would make it, he's kind of like big dogging him. Like he's like, like kind of pulling him closer. It's all very bizarre, but yeah, it's true.
A little condescending.
Donald Trump is the most pro-Israel president in American history. There's no question about that. But the thing is that like what's omitted there is that actually all the other presidents were pro-Israel too. They would just have some demands on Israel. Like they would just go like, hey, could you just stop doing this?
Right.
Because this is a huge problem for us. Right. And then Israel wouldn't stop doing that. And then they would get annoyed at them. And then, so like, then there's lots of examples like this, like both George H.W. Bush and Barack Obama made a big thing out of asking him to stop building settlements on the West Bank. Could you just not do that? Because you're expanding these settlements, causing all these problems. The whole international, community is outraged by it. And then they just wouldn't stop.
Yeah, that's one of the things that caused a lot of rifts over the years too, was just the taking over of Palestinians' homes. Like people walking in, and it was known. It's not a debated thing.
Oh, it's on video.
Yeah, there's tons of video of it. So it was walking in and taking over native Palestinians' homes, just taking it over and kicking them out. And I think after 30 years of that, it just became too much for people over there.
So, well, the one poll I saw was, they said it was before October 7th. They said, who do you sympathize with more, the Israelis or the Palestinians? And it was plus 48% pro-Israel. And then taken like a couple months ago, it was +1 for the Palestinians. So it was a 50-point collapse, right? So anyway, we had speculated, because Israel's in this situation where everybody's turning on them because they just committed a genocide in 4K and forced us to fund it, and we're all appalled by that. But at the same time, they have the most pro-Israel president in right now. So they could look at the writing on the wall and go, this is the best opportunity we have right now. And then a lot of us, and I said this on Rogan last time I was there, I go, they might move to annex the West Bank, like to formally just take the whole thing, because now's their best opportunity to do it. Now, Trump came out and said, kind of unprompted, it was in a Politico article, he said, someone asked him about that and said, what? And he goes, no, I will not let Israel annex the West Bank. And so they go, well, what are you going to do if they did annex the West Bank? And he actually said they would lose support from America if they annex the West Bank. And then...
And when you say annex the West Bank, it just means take it over completely.
Just take it over and claim it as part of Israel, which, by the way, they've in effect already done, but they haven't formally done it, okay? So now... This is the Politico piece. So then cut to a month later, J.D. Vance is in Israel, and the Knesset holds a vote over annexing the West Bank, and it passes. They intentionally, now this was like kind of a symbolic vote or whatever, but Donald Trump, who's been the most pro-Israel president, goes, I'll fund your genocide. I'll arm your genocide. I'll bomb Iran for you. I'll shoot down the Iranian missiles coming back at Israel in response. We'll bomb the Houthis for you. You bomb the negotiators of a deal I'm trying to make, and I'll still work with you. You'll still get funding. One request, just don't annex the West Bank. And they go, nope. And we're going to intentionally vote that way while your vice president is here, just to let you know that we run this shit and you don't. And that for all the billions you give us, we're still in charge. It's just too crazy, man.
Fucking gangster.
It is gangster. You got to admit that.
I mean,